the next day. "Hey, check out the new girl." Lorelei raised her head at the sound of whispering from her classmates, scanning the room briefly. The new girl didn't take long to spot. Lorelei saw the girl sitting 2 rows behind from her. She was dressed all in black, with a medium-length black hair. Lorelei found herself thinking the girl to be very pretty, but immediately decided that she didn't like her at all. The way she sat and postured gave Lorelei the feeling that she was very arrogant. The girl rested her chin on steepled fingers, almost sulkily. Her expression was vacant and her eyes were cold. Lorelei turned back to her desk. "What's she like?" The whispered conversation continued nearby. "I don't know. I heard her name was Rian. She's not from around here. Apparently she just moved in recently." Lorelei returned her attention back to her work. A picture she had been drawing in pastel of a woman floating on a lake in a rowing boat with her child. It was shortly afterwards the bell rang, and people started filing out of class. Lorelei dusted her hands off on her jeans, gathering together her pencils and sketchbooks. "I'll see you later, Christina," she told her friend. Christina winked cheekily at her, waving as she danced away. Lorelei left the classroom alone once she had packed up her things, swinging her bag over her shoulder and strolling out into the corridor. It was seconds later another one of her friends caught up with her. "Hey, Lorelei!" She squeaked in shock as her friend pounced on her, jumping from behind and grabbing her shoulders. "Why does everyone have to frighten me like that all the time?" Lorelei whined. "Well," her friend Alice said shyly, clinging to her, "you're so easily startled it's hard not to make fun of it. You're like a little lamb." Alice gleamed, looking much like a cougar standing before its prey. Lorelei hooked her arm through Alice's as they walked together. "So where are you heading?" Alice asked. "Do you have another lecture to go to?" "No, I'm finished now." "Great," Alice beamed. "I'm finished too. Actually, I was finished ages ago. I wanted to wait for you because me and the others are going over Kirsty's now. Do you want to come?" "Sure," Lorelei said, perking up. "Great," Alice said again. "The others are already there. I told them I would wait for you." "I know where our house is." Lorelei laughed. "Yeah, but I wanted to walk with you." Lorelei squeezed her friend's arm tightly. "You're so good to me, Alice." "I know, right?" They walked slowly together, heading out of the college grounds. "Did you hear the word on the street?" Alice asked. "What word?" "The brothers are coming to town." "Eh?" "They're well-known street dancers, entertainers." Alice rambled on. "They've been travelling round together for the last year doing their thing, and now they're coming home again. They're going to be putting on a show. I hear they're pretty good at it, though I've never seen them myself." She cast a sideways glance at Lorelei, grinning happily. "I've heard they're both pretty handsome." "If you haven't seen them before, how do you know they're any good?" Lorelei asked. "My sister is friends with their little sister. She told me about them. Anyway, I was wondering if you wanted to come along to see them. Me and the others are going together. You can bring a friend, or 2 of your own if you wanted. The more the merrier, that's what they say." "Street dancing," Lorelei thought. "Oh, please. What a ridiculous thing to do, go around prancing in different towns, making a fool of yourself. Dancing is for girls and gays." Lorelei smiled sweetly at her friend. "That sounds brilliant. I'd love to come." "Great!" Alice beamed, squeezing her arm excitedly. "Who will you bring?" "I could ask Drake. He might be interested." "Drake?" Alice made a comical face. "Is he your—" "Friend," Lorelei finished. "Just a friend." Alice sniffed disdainfully. "You make me jealous to know that. You have so many boyfriends. They're not my boyfriends." Lorelei scowled. "All right, boys that are friends," Alice corrected. "That's better. Anyway, Kirsty's got a film to watch tonight if you're not expected to be home." "That sounds fun," Lorelei replied. "I wasn't going home tonight anyway." It was in the library that Jacob revised now. Free from his lectures, he sat now with his friends, Josh and Alex. Macro, computer science, a set of instructions that is represented in abbreviated format. "In short," Jacob said. "Say what?" Josh raised an eyebrow. "It's a pattern that specifies how a certain input sequence should be mapped to a replacement input sequence according to a defined procedure. In English, it carries out a sequence of operations intended by the user. You record a set of actions on the computer." Jacob sighed patiently. "Oh, I see." Jacob closed his book, frowning at his friend across the table. "I'm sure glad at least one of us understands this stuff." Josh huffed. "I just can't get my head around macros. They're so confusing." "Well, you'd probably understand it better if you actually listened to the lecturer," Jacob replied. "I can't help it," Josh argued. "I just switch off. As soon as anyone mentions the M word, I zone out." Jacob shook his head. "And you know our lecturer has the most boring voice," Josh went on. "It's enough to put anyone to sleep." "Well, at least you're doing better than me," Alex chipped in, looking up from his books. It was the first time he had spoken in a while. "I'm doing ancient history. I can't even remember what we're supposed to be doing. Something about the Cataline conspiracy and a man called Superbus." "A Cataline conspiracy?" Josh said. "Nothing actually happened. It was a supposed attempt." Josh stressed these words as he spoke, "to overthrow the Roman Republic." "Wait, didn't Superbus live in a different time to Cataline?" Alex asked. "You should know, dumbass," Josh returned. "You're in my class." "So who was this Cataline guy anyway?" Jacob cut in before an argument began. "He was a Roman politician." "Wait, did you say Superbus?" Jacob asked, realizing what a strange name it was. He hesitated, then noticing 3 figures standing just outside the doors of the library watching him. He didn't even hear his friend's response. The 3 figures moved away. "Jacob, are you all right?" Alex glanced around to see what Jacob was looking at, but the 3 had already gone. "What are you looking at?" "What is it?" Josh asked. "You look nervous." "I'm fine," Jacob lied. He shifted, trying to get back to his work, but found that he could not. "I've got to go," he said shortly after, rising to his feet. "Why? Hey, wait a minute." But Jacob ignored the both of them, heading out of the library and into the beautiful sun. The car park was in view from outside the library, and Jacob could see the 3 figures waiting for him there: Lucas, Reuben, and Drake. They were all leaning against the wall at the back of the car park. In formation, they all eyed him like hawks. Jacob felt a great weight descend upon him. The air suddenly felt heavy, and his chest tightened. He took a deep breath. Taking a step towards them, he began to walk. Their eyes never left him as he approached them. Behind him, standing just outside the library, Josh and Alex now watched. Jacob paused to glance back at them, then turned to face the 3 again. Lucas pushed himself off the wall and straightening up. "Welcome aboard," Lucas said seriously. "Things are going to change for me from now on," Jacob said, "aren't they?" Lucas cocked his head in response, his eyes gleaming. "You're past the point of no return, my friend," Lucas told him. "I still haven't been able to use magic, but I feel different since that day." "The day you met Venom?" Reuben asked. Jacob thought of Alex and Josh, wondering how he was going to explain to them what was happening, but he decided that it didn't matter. He didn't need to explain anything. He couldn't, even if he wanted. "Your magic will come to you," Lucas assured him, "when you are ready." "How long will it take?" Lucas shrugged. "Everyone is different." He extended a hand towards Jacob. "Magic," Jacob thought. "Will this be a gift or a curse?" Jacob looked down at Lucas's hand and extended his own. Lucas grasped his forearm tightly. Either side of him, Reuben and Drake smiled. Jacob was led away by the 3 as his friends no more watched. They headed out of the town and towards the abandoned hotel where the brothers and Drake so often practiced their magic. But on this day they saw something strange, something not even the brothers had seen before. All 4 of them slowed to a stop, staring in disbelief. It was a black creature, large in size, with an entire head that welded into one colossal horn. Its mouth held a neat row of splintered teeth, and it walked on all 4s. They all watched as it walked casually past. Its only acknowledgement of them was a brief glance as it continued on its way. Lucas gasped as he recognized it. Suddenly realizing what it was, he uttered one word: "Aberrant."